Hey guys and girls, my name's Dan, this is
Dan.
and this is
Dan.
whatever. And in this episode of Trust Me, I'm a Blacksmith, we're doing some more of Wally's Railings. So, you came down because you wanted to come down.
Pretty much.
You came down because I wanted to help me finish these, but we didn't quite get that far today because of open reach. And basically that's it. Yeah, so that's why there's everyone here. That's right, no? Pretty much. You bought some gas, didn't you? Thank you. Cool, that was everything. Anyway, we're going to do these railings. I'm probably going to talk over most of it about some of the stuff to do with business related stuff. That's it. You got anything to say, Alex?
I'm
Dan? You're Alex. Cool, so enjoy the video and see you on the other side. Welcome back to The Forge. In this episode of Trust Me, I'm a Blacksmith, we're going to be talking about time estimations and what that can mean for the costing of a job. I'm trying to work through this series and try and give little nuggets of information where I fall down on or where I make mistakes. Now, I started this project a while ago, and I've only just been able to get Alex back to be able to work on this project. In this video, I wanted to get some consistency here for Alex. He'd come down, he was trying to experience a different type of work. Hopefully he got a good experience out of it, you know, he learned something. I think he did, because he seems to enjoy himself when he comes down. Now, Dan came down because, Dan just wanted to hang out, I think, basically, and they helped quite a lot, basically. And these are factors that I haven't counted in. I haven't taken into account Dan when estimating the time to do this job. I didn't take in Dan or Alex's time helping me. So that's something that you need to remember as we go through this little bit of conversation. Now, when estimating timescales for jobs, it's important to try and break things down into individual elements to give you a better understanding of how, you know, the timescales for the project are going to break down. And the better you are at this, I am very bad at this, the more accurately you will be able to estimate the time it's going to take you to complete a task, to complete the job start to finish. Now, I am a serial overestimator. I always estimate things. I'd be like, oh, that's going to take me 2 hours to do, and it ends up taking 6. Because of two reasons. The first reason is I might not be as good at something as I believed I was, and also I may have misunderstood the task that was in hand, and these are factors that can really affect the pricing of a job. Now, there's a sense of realism that you have to take with every estimation, and also there is a sense of practicality that you have to take into every situation, and it depends on. I'm not saying I'm having a customer over a barrel when it comes to pricing, but some customers can afford to pay for the 4 hours work that you might put into something, whereas some customers definitely can't afford that, and a cheaper alternative or some sort of haggling needs to come in design wise and also cost wise in order to kind of get to a result that the customer and yourself are happy with. There's no point spending hours and hours and hours and hours and hours doing something if you're not going to get paid for it. Now, another thing that needs to be taken into account when doing estimations for times for jobs is failures. I'll quite often make something and it's wrong, and I'll have to make it again. So you can spend perhaps 6 or 7 hours producing a product for it to be wrong, for then you to go away and have to reproduce that product again. So these are all factors that you have to keep in mind when estimating or quoting for work. So in this job here, working with Alex, I had quoted 3 10-hour days, so about 30 hours to make this job. Now, in total, the job is probably it's only 2 upright components with some fairly standard forging in. Most of the things in this job I've done before, so you know, I was fairly confident that the outcome of each excuse me, the outcome of each job, the outcome of each stage of this this work was going to be fairly accurate. I think 3 days was a fair estimate. I haven't included site work in this. Now, if I'm honest with you, I assumed that I might have someone with me in the workshop to give me a hand. Normally there's someone kicking about at certain times of the year who can help me out, which is great. And you know, for this example, I've got 2 people today, and then the time before this I had only Alex, but still a great help nonetheless. So these square corners, for example, which initially weren't in the original design, which got added in afterwards, I'd estimated about, I don't know, somewhere between 6 to 8 hours to make both of these, with all the punch holes and all the finishing and then the riveting together process. It turned out quite a bit closer to 10 hours in all honesty, and then also I had 2 people working with me. Here you see me bending up the handrail, the spaces for the handrails. Now, I've tooled up a little bit here, and I haven't taken into account the timing for making tooling here, because I already had this tooling basically. But I did have to make tooling in the video previously, which needed costing also. So these are other things that, other little pitfalls that might come across, you might come across as you're working through the process of designing, developing and making the pieces that you're trying to achieve. Things that can affect time and cost scales, tool making, problems, repairing machinery or equipment, setting up machinery or equipment, and also courier work, so travelling from one place to another to deliver work, or you know, just these are things that can cause hindrance during the process of manufacturing a part for a customer, or some railings or gates or whatever. Also, obviously, there's failures you've got to take into account as well, and they are also things that probably the most cost-effective, the most expensive time issues that you can come across. Failures quite often give you the greatest loss of money. Now, if you can A, forge very accurately, B, discuss with the customer exactly what they want, because that's another issue that can happen. You can make something, turn up, put it in, and they go, I don't like it. Fortunately, that's never happened to me yet, but if it did happen, it's a very expensive mistake to make. Sorry again. So if you can foresee failures, you can understand the type of tooling and the time it will take you to make tooling in your workshop. You can be aware of how much access you have to students or staff that can help you on the creative process. You understand how long each individual task is going to take you. You can quite often accurately work out how long something's going to take you, and when you can accurately work out that period of time that something's going to take you, you can work out quite accurately a cost, and you can then plan around a timescale and costing. So, I mean, I'm telling you all this stuff, and I'm sitting there thinking I'm not good at this, and I'm not good at it because I don't have the experience that a lot of professional blacksmiths do have. I'm still learning, and I still make mistakes. Yes, something else that I'd also forgotten to mention is third-party mess-ups. They can cost you money, they can cost you time, they can affect the amount of time that it takes for you to produce a product, which can overall affect the amount of money that you make at the end of a job. Good example of this is the handrails. A good example of this is the stair, the railings that I made that went up the stairs in the Georgian house. basically, because of a change to the steps, and because of a stonemason, I was unable to put the job in straight away, because I had to remake it basically because something had moved. So that was a cost, and as to whether I'm going to be able to recoup those costs with the customer, I don't know yet. Because we haven't talked about it, but these are basically the issues that come with costing, and things that should be taken into account whilst costing up to a job. And the more you do it, the better you get at it, the more effective you become at costing, and the more accurately you can give your customer, the price that something's going to cost, and you can then build in your wiggle room and haggle room and stuff like that. So basically, that's everything I wanted to talk about. So enjoy the rest of the video, and I'll see you in a minute.
Okay, thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a good time.
Good. Did you have a good time?
Yes.
You're hard work, you are. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, remember to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you are a subscriber, remember to ring that bell for notifications. I do practice this occasionally. Leave comments down below, and I will put a video on his face, and I'm going to put one on his face as well. And I'll leave a link down here to my Patreon, and this button for you to subscribe with. Thanks for joining us, guys. See you later. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Oh.